South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has been viewed as a rising star within the Republican Party. Donald Trump has praised her. The anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers have embraced her, even as South Dakota has been swallowed up by COVID. But anyway, they love her. You know, she's this anti-establishment, modeled after Trump Republican, and she's been doing very well for herself among the MAGA crowd. But this week, scandal broke. And it threatens to derail Noem's very young political career. Here's what happened. It was revealed this week by an Associated Press report that Noem abused her power as governor of the state of South Dakota to essentially get her daughter her residential appraiser's license. Daughter wanted to go appraise residential property for real estate, and she applied to get the license. Her license was denied by the state agencies. They said it didn't meet the criteria, for compliance and all of that. Like, you're not qualified to be a residential property appraiser. I'm sorry. Cassidy Peters, the daughter's name, who was 26 at the time this happened. Well, apparently this pissed off Kristi Noem. So Noem calls a meeting in the governor's office, brings in her daughter, brings in the head of the agency that, approves or disapproves of these licenses, brings in another employee from the agency, and I believe there was a third individual there as well from that same agency. And so they all talked about, the criteria for what it takes to become a residential property appraiser in the state of South Dakota. Shortly after that meeting, the head of that agency, Sherry Brin was her name, was asked to resign. They told her, you're going to need to leave. We're not going to have you here anymore. So Brin then files an age discrimination lawsuit because she is 70 and she believes, hey, they want me out because I'm 70 years old. She gets a $200,000 settlement, and of course she leaves office. And then just a few months later, wouldn't you know it, Noem's daughter gets the damn license anyway. Even though, as had been reported, she didn't meet the criteria. But once they got rid of her, Sherry Brin, suddenly that license gets approved. Now, we don't know specifically what was said during that meeting in the governor's office when the daughter was there. The daughter had no reason being there, folks. That's why this is a scandal. If you want to talk to the agency about what it takes to get your residential property appraiser's license, you don't need your daughter in there. She's not a government official. She's not even a residential property appraiser because she didn't get approved for that. So she had no business whatsoever being in that meeting. And of course, you had no business retaliating against the agency for not giving your daughter the license. And what's really ridiculous about this too is the average salary for a residential property appraiser in the state of South Dakota is only $50,000 a year. Okay, so it's not even like this individual, the daughter, was denied this multi-million-dollar fortune. No, it's just a regular job. Nice median income, solid middle class. And because of that, Noem could end up derailing her entire career. And of course, Noem's office has already put out statements. Here's what they said about this. The Associated Press is disparaging the governor's daughter in order to attack the governor politically. No wonder Americans' trust in the media is at an all-time low. Yeah, see, the fun thing about that statement is that you literally didn't disprove or refute anything the report says. It's very clearly obvious that you retaliated against this agency, against Sherry Brin, because your daughter didn't get a license and you were mad and you abused your power in order to let her get it. This isn't that difficult to understand. The timeline tells us the entire story. And even if we didn't have that, why in the hell was your daughter in the meeting at the first place, right? She had no business being there, but you brought her in anyway so she could watch you, I'm assuming, berate these employees for not giving her her license. You can deny it. You can issue all these statements like this is why people don't trust the media, but you cannot deflect enough from what actually happened. We know the truth now, and I hope it costs you politically.